Have you ever wondered how you can go from zero to billionaire within your lifetime? It's not easy, but it doesn't necessarily mean you can't do it. I'm going to tell you how, coming up next on BTP Fusion. What's up, everybody? You're watching BTP Fusion. I'm your affable, inspirational host, Derek West. Here on BTP Fusion, it's our goal to inspire you to take action to improve your personal finances and business using the power of technology. If this is your first time here, stay tuned. It'll be great. If you're coming back, welcome back. You know how we do it here. Let's dive right in. So I think it's probably a common perception that becoming a billionaire is relatively hard. When you see guys like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, you get the impression that you need to start a company. Become a savvy stock investor. Be a CEO of a major corporation. Well, you'd be right. There are very few billionaires that have become billionaires without doing one of those things. And, as a matter of fact, doing it well. There are a lot of gurus on YouTube telling you a lot of things to kind of pump up your ego and to get you to buy their course and this and that. But the truth is, no matter what anybody tells you, becoming a billionaire is probably the hardest thing in the world for a human being to do. So hard that according to Forbes, there are 2,153 billionaires in the world. With a population of 7 billion people, more or less, that means less than 0.00028% of the world's population has reached that level. Why is becoming a billionaire so hard? One of the reasons that becoming a billionaire is so hard is that you really need to provide value at scale to lots and lots of people. And frankly, that's not an easy feat to accomplish. Think in your mind for a second. Have you ever just traded something with someone? Like, think really hard, like maybe a baseball card, maybe something on eBay or Amazon. Or maybe just desserts at lunch, at school, or work, or something like that. Well, what you're doing in those instances is you're providing value to somebody, and they're giving you value as well. You gave up something that you owned and presumably liked, and gave it to someone else, and they presumably wanted more than what they were giving you in return. Or at the very least, it was a toss-up decision. To be a billionaire, excluding taxes and other considerations, and just taking revenue into account, you need to provide at least 1 billion people enough value that they're willing to part with $1, or any other mathematical combination that equates to $1 billion. Quick example, if you can convince people to purchase your product for $10, then you really need 100 million people to get $1 billion. And that's the simplified version. We're talking about revenue here. And we're not even talking about profit after taxes. Suffice it to say, it's a daunting feat. It's not something that many people can accomplish, to be quite frank. Not even your favorite YouTubers. People like Graham Stephan, Gary Vee, Alex Becker can pull off that feat. Some guys like Grant Cardone are getting close. I'm not sure if he's there yet, but last I checked, he was closing in on the 3 Comma Club. That said, it is a hard task to perform. The truth is, you probably will not ever reach that goal no matter how hard you work. But if you wanted to try, here's how you would do it. Now, full disclosure, just in case there's any confusion, I too am not a billionaire. Believe it or not. I don't want you to think that I'm one of these YouTube posers who's just out here trying to get you to buy his self-help ebook. Now, I've done pretty well for myself, but I, like a lot of people, am not a billionaire. I can tell you I'm trying, and hope to get there someday, but I'm not there yet. And again, it's a long road to hoe. But with that in mind, I'm not going to ask you to buy anything at the end of this video. I'm not going to ask you to jump on a webinar to ask you to buy anything. I will, however, ask you to smash that like button to kick off the YouTube algorithm. And while you're at it, click that subscribe and notification bell as well. But aside from that, this is all free knowledge, baby. 100% value, no downside. So enjoy yourself. But here's how you'd get started. You have to start off with the right mindset. Now, I'm not a mindset expert, but I do know that if I think I can't do it, then I can't do it. It really is as simple as that. And the converse is also true. If I think I can do it, then I can do it. Now, keep in mind, that doesn't mean I will do it, but if you don't even think you can do it, then you definitely cannot do it. And if you're gonna do it, you first have to understand that people have done this before. It can happen. People have done this in all kinds of economies and political systems across the globe. Center left, center right, Europe, the Americas, Asia, Africa, I think Australia as well. But just relax and calm down. It can be done. Now, you will have to be the best of the best at what you do. And you really have to pick the right industry to supercharge your chances. More on that in a second, but it can be done. Remember, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, and the same 365 days in a year, as well as 366 on leap years, like this year, by the way. Happy new decade. But once you have your mindset right, now you need to set goals and make a plan. And no, don't worry about being rich when you're age X or Y. It really doesn't matter when you start to make your money. When you can really create value and getting your ideas to scale, your wealth creation will happen quickly. Whether you're a Zuckerberg or a Jack Dorsey, who has a great idea that becomes an overnight smash sensation, or a Warren Buffett, who slowly yet surely makes bank year after year on smart investment. Once you figure it out, the money will come. But what goals do you need to set? Herm Edwards, a famous ESPN analyst. I think today he's a college football coach in Arizona somewhere. But he had a really great saying. A goal without a plan is a wish. I have an addendum to that. A plan without action is a wish list. Pretty clever, huh? So you need to create goals, and you need to make a plan. But more than anything else, you need to take action. Be a calculated risk taker. Thinking about investing in Tesla? Put your money where your mind and your mouth is, and just do it. Thinking about leaving your podunk town to pursue your dream of making it big in New York or LA, or Chicago or Houston? Well, quit talking about it, and just do it. Don't dither. Think through the repercussions, and if it's more than you think you can take, then think twice. But if you think you can handle it, those butterflies in your stomach are your guts trying to barf out your success. So listen to your inner self and just take the plunge. But to get into some of the concrete steps, you need to look into what is really making money. If you take a look at this visualization on the screen, you can find this in Reddit, by the way, link in the description. Then you'll note that the top 50 billionaires by industry are organized by a couple of big sectors, i.e. technology, consumer goods, real estate, retail, food and beverage, etc. Some of them have multiple business interests, i.e. they're diversified, while there are who are in energy, industrial, commodities, and so on. This graphic should be telling you that if your goal is to print stacks like nobody's business, you should be in technology, consumer goods, or have a diversified portfolio, or maybe in retail, energy, or real estate. Let's take a quick deep dive into each of those a little bit, shall we? So as you might imagine, each of those fields has a wide range of disciplines that you need to be in if you want to succeed. Let's focus on technology, consumer goods, retail, and real estate. As some of you may already know, me personally, I'm in technology. I'm not a company founder, not one with any success anyway. All of my tech startups were colossal failures that never really got off the ground. That said, the technology business can be pretty lucrative. The time to get in is now because this sector is wide open and there are many fields just being breached. For example, AI and machine learning. This field of technology is just getting started, and many people think that this industry will eventually create the world's first trillionaires. Also, it'll take over the world. Seriously, there are several famous billionaires that think AI will eventually surpass and eventually enslave humanity in a post-apocalyptic future, not unlike Terminator in many ways. Now, me personally, I don't know about all that, but in the meantime, if you're just getting into AI, you're going to be in on the ground floor of the latest and greatest advancements in the field, putting you in a position to know what is going to be the next great leap in technology, or giving you the insight into which companies will provide the most value to customers. Companies that you can then invest in, or work at as a founder, or an early employee and really make bank. Other technology like 5G is also in its infancy. The technology and business opportunities that will come out of 5G, and AI as a matter of fact, will probably change the world for the better. Yeah, and for the worse. But the companies that are created in this next wave will more than likely disrupt the companies that exist today. And these companies disrupted the companies that were formed at the end of the last tech bubble, and so on. But let's talk a little bit about consumer goods and retail. You're probably thinking to yourself, I can't start my own consumer goods empire. That's only for folks with big pockets or investors with lots of money for inventory. Well, you're wrong. You can start your own retail store with just an internet connection and a dream. You can either start your own store, drive traffic to it, and become a success that way. Or you could piggyback off the success of other big stores with massive traffic of their own, like Amazon, Etsy, or eBay. I do have a couple of videos on this topic, so be sure to check out the links in the description. And also don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you know when we drop videos on that topic. But real estate. This is a topic of discussion that a lot of big YouTubers love to discuss, from Graham Stephan to Grant Cardone, and even guys like Ryan Serhant. Real estate is the one industry that has made people money the world over since the beginning of time. If you owned or had access to real estate at any point in the history of the world, you more than likely were rich or could become rich. Of course, not all riches were measured in billions of dollars throughout history. That's a recent phenomenon, but still the point stands. Now, your typical path to success in the retail space is to get a real estate license, start out leasing apartments, and then start showing small houses, and then larger and larger houses. Eventually own rental properties, and then eventually own hotels and apartment complexes until you're buying and selling billion-dollar buildings. That pathway is entirely possible, although probably a little bit saturated right now with all the folks trying to do that. An alternative route might be to lease apartments or houses that you don't own, list them on Airbnb or other similar sites, and then make a killing on those units renting them out to vacationers. Eventually you'll own those units, which will up your profits. Keep in mind, each of these pathways is a high-level view of what you can actually do with your talent and aptitude. You also have to keep in focus that if you take action, you're more than likely gonna fail once or twice, somewhere, somehow. But if you don't give up, you'll eventually find the path and your pathway to success. If you do fail, that doesn't mean that you're a failure. It simply means that the path you took failed. You need to learn from that lesson and take another path with the knowledge that you now have. Don't let roadblocks and obstacles get in your path on the way to your ultimate goal, the 3 Comma Club. Listen, hit that subscribe and notification bell so you know when we drop another great video. We have some more coming out in the next couple of days or so that I know you're not going to want to miss. And also be sure to drop a comment down below with what you're planning on doing to become a billionaire within your lifetime. And we'll talk to you next time. Peace.